So just kicking off, I think probably the most interesting game of the series so far with this Cavs Toronto. What do you think about this, Matt?
Okay, so I just want to say, as a obvious James Harden fan,
Obvious.
personally, right at halftime, seeing them both tied up 49-49. I've been a long time James Harden fan. Okay, guys, I know he sells in the playoffs. So seeing James Harden as your leading scorer for the Cavs in your game 7 at halftime, you're hearing saxophones. Like at that point, like there's no coming back. But you're not exactly, it doesn't bode well for you as the Cavs. But thankfully, Jared Allen came in, saved the day, had a double-double in the third quarter by itself, I think 16 points and 10 rebounds. And honestly, no, he saved the Cavs. Like history won't say that. They'll say, Donovan Mitchell and Harden combined for like 35 points or whatever to get it done. But Jared Allen's the real MVP of that series to me.
So what do you really think about kind of like this Pistons Cavs series? Because obviously we saw like the Pistons were kind of shaky in that like first series, at least in my opinion. And now, the Cavs almost blew this 3-1 lead. So really like what I'm anticipating is I feel like on paper, the Cavs should take this series easily. I think they should probably win it in like 6. But I really like I don't know if you play that way, the Pistons will come back and they will bite you. Like they will win that series if you allow them to. I feel like it's kind of like the Cavs series to lose.
I'd argue. I think that series is more split, just because I think mentally the Pistons are a little bit fatigued.
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
coming back from 3-1. I don't think the Cavs did themselves any favors. I think they could have got this series realistically done in 5 or 6. So because they went 7 games to Toronto for no reason, and then these Pistons guys are coming off a 7 game, it's kind of hard for me to feel like one team has the advantage, especially because of how the Pistons sputtered and how Cleveland is finding a way to win, but like they don't seem convincing in any way. So I think that honestly, that series is gonna go. I think the series is gonna go to like 6 games. I'm I'm taking the Pistons.
Okay.
As a James Harden fan, you got to just prepare yourself for disappointment, and it's just easier that way if you just assume the worst and then he surprises you than if you put hope in him year after year and then you just get smoked out in the second round.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And now keeping it in the East Coast, let's talk a little. Honestly, let's just ignore this next Hawk season, this series. I mean, I know the Hawks put up a little bit of a fight, but that last game was absolutely abuse. I mean,
they got the leather, the buckle, like every part of the belt. It was really bad.
So moving on to this Celtics 76ers. Obviously, I think the biggest takeaway here is the impact Joel Embiid has on like series like this. Joel, it was truly like you heard it from Boston players themselves. Like I think you heard it from their head coach. What changed? Joel Embiid came back. And when that happens, it's just like a star player, an MVP caliber player who, he deals with a lot of injuries. But at the end of the day, Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid.
Still Joel Embiid. I think a really important thing too is the fact that the 76ers finally have all their guys gelling at the right time. Like they were the whole season, not even the whole season, but just for the past couple of years, it's felt like throughout the playoffs and the regular season, they'd never be able to play like a consistent group of guys. And it's like, okay, this is our 76ers team. This is how it's constructed. And this is what we're going to do every single game. So like now that they have all 3 pieces, and the addition of VJ, it really feels like they have like a solid like group moving forward for until they either win or blow it up. I don't see this group like splitting up really or like changing a whole bunch.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, and that's the interesting thing about the 76ers team is we kind of see a bit of like a weaker East right now. So they have a real chance of making it. This is not like out of like the world to think that like they could beat the Knicks. Now I think it's going to be a scrappy series. They have to make the Knicks play their game. But like I definitely don't think it's out of the question.
No, I don't think it's out of the question either. I think the Knicks, especially after the beating they put down on the Hawks, they deserve to be taken seriously as a team.
Yeah.
I think that every year, everybody says the Knicks are going to make it, especially as a New Yorker. But I really do think that this year they have to be taken seriously because they've shown that when they fire on all cylinders, they are borderline impossible to beat. You look at the score from that game, 140-89. Like it literally gets to a point where it's like no other team I think has put up 140 points in general. So it's like you can't discredit that. I think that series is going to be a good one too. New York versus Philly. I like New York, obviously, but Philly's not going to go down easy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Now, kind of moving over back to the West, we got a Thunder's Lakers series. Now, obviously, the Lakers, they had a good series against Houston. You know, there's no way to put it. Bron took over, showing that he is better than Father Time. I mean, he said that he's whooping his butt. I think if you put that in a series, Bron is definitely he's sweeping Father Time at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
You know what I mean? 42 years old, doing what he's doing is absolutely insane. Like, I don't even know how you fathom that, to be honest with you.
No, really, like when I think about it and I think about how long he's been in the league and even like little things like the fact that he created a player to play with him on his team, like it's really crazy. I mean, it's a shame they're gonna go home in 5 because of my glorious King SGA, but but no, the Lakers have put together a really impressive season, especially with all the injuries they've had. The fact that they even, and I'm not saying, because Houston is garbage. So I'm not saying the fact that they beat Houston is an accomplishment, but they were short-staffed and nobody picked them to win, and they won. So I think that credit is due there. But against the Thunder, against the MVP,
I just don't know how you beat them.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Now, this is what I think is the most interesting series in this round 2 is Timberwolves Spurs. I honestly I just don't know what's going to happen in this.
No clue. Wemby's the anomaly. Like he's the original anomaly. Are we getting Ant back? Do we know?
I think maybe mid-series. I don't think it's going to be game 1.
I don't think the Timberwolves are playing well right now, and they were able to beat the Nuggets with short staffed. So there is merit there. But honestly, anybody as a Thunder supporter, I'm worried for us getting when we see Wemby. So I don't see what the Timberwolves have. Unless Rudy Gobert, it turns back the clock 10, 15 years. I don't know what they're gonna do about Wemby. I don't.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But thank you guys all for watching. This is our last episode for this year's Buffalo Sports Insider, and we just want to thank you guys for watching all year long. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us. But we hope to see you guys next semester. I'm Aiden Wright.
I'm Matthew Miles.
And I hope you guys have a great, phenomenal rest of your day.